Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege talking to the first-time entries, first-year students from the Faculty of Education in the Northwest University. I am Professor Herman van Vuren, currently the privilege to occupy the position of Deputy Dean, Teaching and Learning in our faculty at the Northwest University. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome you all to this orientation program 2021 in the Northwest University, and it's really a pity that we don't have a face-to-face contact and that we have to do it in this online mode. So colleagues, I hope you will bear with me and bear with this whole program. It's the first time ever that we have to do it online. We really wanted to meet you in person, and we're looking forward when things goes to normal that we will have the privilege meeting you personally. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I quickly want to do with my colleagues, Professor Washington Dudu, the Deputy Dean Research and Innovation, as well as our Deputy Dean Community Engagement Stakeholder Relations, Dr. Elise Kung, who is on the Van der Bijlpark campus, Prof. Dudu in Mahikeng campus, and I'm the Deputy Dean here on the Potchefstroom campus. Looking forward to meet you, and my presentation today will be just in short to introduce you to the Faculty of Education through the lens of teaching and learning. As I said, I'm Professor Herman van Vuren, and I gladly want to assist you with all our colleagues, the school directors, the program leaders, the subject leaders, to make your teaching and learning a joyful and a happy experience at the Northwest University. I just want also to emphasize, a first-year student, ladies and gentlemen, that we are one faculty, we are one university, but on 3 campuses. We talk about 3 sites of delivery. The Mahikeng campus, that's the picture with the leopard. The white building is the Potchefstroom campus, and the nice big building is the library building of the Van der Bijlpark campus. I just want to introduce you quickly, colleagues, one faculty, but we have 3 sites of delivery. I also want to make you aware, just before I start a presentation, about that maybe some things of the presentation, well, in fact, in all the presentations might overlap with other lecturers as well. So please be patient, bear with us, don't get frustrated. All units, all sections, all entities and structures at a faculty are interlinked. It is not in silos, it is not independent. Everything is intertwined, interlinked. And that's why maybe you will hear something. I know for certain that today you will hear something from me that you will also hear from other lecturers. For example, the grievance procedure, which is very important. If you have something that you feel is not right, what is the procedure, how to follow it, because we want you to have a good and effective functional operational experience in our faculty. And the other thing is, colleagues, especially for our Afrikaans and other language speakers, home language speakers, mother tongue, I really want to assure you that we value the multilingual aspect at our faculty, but for the sake of this presentation, not to exclude anybody. The presentation and the slides is in English, and I really trust on your understanding for this and in your full cooperation for this. There are some translation services, especially also on the Potchefstroom campus, where some of the lecturers are presented in Afrikaans, and then in the lecture room there are translators that translate the whole presentation in the other languages. So colleagues, with that, you are most welcome, and I just want to give you an overview introduction of the Faculty of Education. First of all, you will find in all the yearbooks, and most of you are B.Ed first-year students, if you look into the B.Ed calendar or on the website, the Faculties of Education website on the NWU, you will find this organigram of the Faculty of Education. If I can quickly go through it, and it is very important that you understand this structure of the faculty, because this is how you're going to address any inquiries that you have. There's a specific route to follow. There's a specific procedure, especially with grievance procedure, that you have to follow. Colleagues, at the top, we have the Executive Dean who will do the word of welcome to you. Is Professor Lloyd Conley. This is our Executive Dean. He's the father of the faculty. He's providing leadership and guidance on all 3 campuses, and he reports to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Robert Balfour for Teaching and Learning, and to the Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Dan Quaddy, who is our Vice-Chancellor of this university. So, Prof. Conley, our Executive Dean. There are 3 Deputy Deans that I already mentioned. On the left side of the organigram, it is Professor Washington Dudu. He is situated at the Mahikeng campus, and he is the Deputy Dean Research and Innovation, although also the operational manager overseeing all operations at the Mahikeng campus. Myself, the Deputy Dean Teaching and Learning, I'm responsible for all teaching and learning matters on all 3 campuses, and I'm also the operational manager at the Potchefstroom campus. Dr. Elise Kung is our operational manager, as well as the Deputy Dean Community Engagement and Stakeholder Relations at the Vanderbijlpark campus. Ladies and gentlemen, then we have 5 schools across our faculty, across campuses. On the Mahikeng campus, we have the School of Mathematics, Science and Technology Education, and Dr. Pentecost Nkoma is the school director. We also have the School of Commerce and Social Studies in Education, of which the school director is Dr. Martha Matashu. On the Potchefstroom campus, also 2 schools. The School of Professional Studies and Education, this is the school of Professor Kobus Mens. And we also have the School Director of Language Education, of which Professor Marina Reineke is the School Director. So 2 schools at Mahikeng, 2 schools at Potchefstroom campus, and a final school is the School of Psychosocial Education, and Professor Johnny Hay is the School Director situated at the Vanderbijlpark campus. Also important, colleagues, first year students, when you have a look at the diagram, you will see that each school director is the program owner of a specific program or qualification in the faculty. Dr. Pentecost Nkoma is the school director also for a postgraduate certificate in education, and Dr. Martha Matashu is the school director for a postgraduate diploma and an advanced certificate in teaching, while Professor Kobus Mens at the Potchefstroom campus is the school director for the B.Ed Honours. And for your interest, your address in this organigram is with the School of Language Education. Professor Marina Reineke is the program owner of the B.Ed program, including the foundation phase, the intermediate phase, senior FET phase, and the senior FET and technology education. So you are situated at a School of Language Education. Everything that you want to know is with Professor Marina Reineke. So the B.Ed program then at Potch, and colleagues, what is very important that for each program qualification there is a dedicated program leader, an appointed academic that's fulfilling the role of a program leader. At the foundation phase, we have as a program leader Mrs. Susan Marie. At the intermediate phase, Dr. Elma Mare. And senior FET and technology is Mrs. Marika Strydom. Colleagues, that is very important that you have to take note of that. And the Director of Psychosocial Education is the program owner for a grade R teaching, as well as the Advanced Diploma in Education. You will see the final structure in this organigram is the subject groups. Colleagues, I'm not going to do all of them. It's very important. If you have a specific matter in your subject, there's always a module lecturer, and your first point of entry for any inquiry is your module lecturer. After that, you're going to your module leader. After that, you go into your subject group leader. That's why you must know the structure of subject group leaders, program leaders, school directors, deputy deans, deans. This is the structure of the hierarchy that you have to follow. I really want to emphasize and to encourage you to go and look into the calendar and have a look at that organigram of the structure of the faculty. Our aim in the faculty, I'm just going quickly through that if you will allow me, to expand boundaries in and through education. Our NWU Northwest University dream, purpose and values. Our dream is to be an internationally recognized university in Africa, distinguished for engaged scholarship, social responsiveness and an ethic of care. We really take pride that we exercise or we live our ethics of care at all levels of the university. Our purpose is to excel in innovative education, teaching and learning, cutting-edge research, and benefiting society through that knowledge, generating new knowledge that's valuable to our communities. So I think you can already deduct, ladies and gentlemen, that our main activities are teaching and learning, research, and community service. We are dynamic. We pride ourselves that we are value-driven and we strive for excellence. I'm going just to our values. Is very important. Ethics in all our endeavor, and then academic integrity. That's a concept that you will encounter many times, academic integrity, because it boils down to plagiarism, to be honest in your academic work and to provide and submit academic work of quality and honest your own work, not somebody else's work. Even from the internet colleagues, it must be your own personal work. That is what academic integrity is all about, and never allow that anything happened that your academic integrity is questioned. That we embrace diversity, colleagues, multilingual, multicultural, multimodal. We have contact as well as distance learning, undergraduate, postgraduate. So we pride ourselves also to embrace diversity in our institution. Our mission is to transform education, scholarship through innovative praxis, facilitate disseminating our expertise in an educational context, and promoting a critical discourse. Always be critical, always question, isn't there another answer, isn't the truth elsewhere? In our policies as well as in our practice. Colleagues, and then we are trying to be socially responsible, not to be ivory tower, but when we generate new knowledge, always go back to the community, to plow back into the community that we serve. Our mission elements, there are 6 of them, is developing quality programs that we really want to produce the best teachers there can be after 4 years of training. We want to collaborate with communities. As I said, we don't want to be an ivory tower, and we really promote you when you, the day that you are congratulated, walking the stage in your gown and getting your degree. That's not the end of your academic life. It is rather the start. We want you to be lifelong learners. If I can, maybe colleagues, if I can just give you an overview of the Faculty of Education. This statistics is definitely not the 2021 statistics that I just want to share with you, giving you an overview. It is the 2019-2020 statistics that I'm going to share with you. We are still busy with the registration process for 2021. The Faculty of Education is one of 8 faculties of the Northwest University. It's one of the biggest faculties. There are more bigger faculties than us, but across 3 campuses, as I already explained. We've got 52 qualifications, 142 programs, if you take all the sub-programs also into account. Last year we had 7,500 students contact, that is full-time on the Northwest University. And colleagues, we also have a very big distance learning component where we present our programs also for distance learning, something like 65 to 70 learning centers across the country as well as in Namibia. And last year we had something like to the tune of 19,300 students doing the B.Ed, the Grade R and all the other programs right across the country. Undergraduate, the total is 22,700 students, and postgraduate, just for interesting sake, if you are interested in that, something like 4,091 students doing honors, masters and PhD in our faculty. When we proceed in postgraduate, there are 4 research entities, and it is just for interesting sake. I can guarantee you at first year level, it is not for your interest, but it's good to take note of it. We have the self-directed learning from Prof. Elsa Mens, the EduRight, it is the human rights and diversity. If you do research in that, steered at this stage by Prof. Johan Botha. And EduLead, if you're interested to do research in leadership and management in education, that's the research entity of Professor Jan Huystek. And then Comber, if you want to do research one day in your postgraduate studies, interest in that, you can do your research in Comber, which is the community-based research. Colleagues, and then, as I said, this is the 3 core business or functions of the faculty. We do teaching and learning, we do research and community engagement. We do a lot of short learning programs, SLPs, through the unit of continuous education at the Northwest University. As well, some of our modules have a service learning component where you must do a part of the module academic work in the community, which is part of the service learning. The B.Ed program, of which you are now a first-year student, is a 4-year full-time student, maximum 6 years. We want you, all of you, out of here getting a degree in 4 years' time. If something happens in your life, and life does happen to one, you can extend your studies to 5 years, even to 6 years. But nobody will allow to extend the maximum duration of the B.Ed program for 6 years. If you don't complete the qualification in 6 years, the university will terminate your studies. Colleagues, another thing that is national policy, it's compulsory, it's not an option. You will be placed you will be placed at a school for the work integrated learning. The South African Council of Education, the South African Act and DHET and Department of Basic Education requires of you to do a certain amount of your study in practice. In other words, in schools. Just like a doctor do have a whole year in a hospital to qualify, you have to do 6 weeks in every semester. You have to spend in a school under the mentorship of a teacher and the principal to do your work integrated learning. Another thing that's characteristic of our qualification is also a national requirement, is that a foundation and intermediate phase, it is not an option. You have to take for the whole 4 years home language. You have to take first additional language as well as a conversational language. So you have to take your home language, whatever that is. You have to take usually then English first additional language, and you have to take a conversational language, which is Setswana. We do have this at this stage also isiZulu, isiXhosa. No, it is only isiZulu, yes, and Sepedi at this stage. But for 1 semester, you have to take a conversational language in another language. I again just want to say, if you want to do some inquiries, the intermediate phase is Mrs. Susan Marie, intermediate phase Dr. Elma Marais, and the senior FET in technology education, Mrs. Marika Strydom. And please find out who is your subject group leader, because if you have any inquiry, you have to go to your subject group leader. You will see that your modules it is expressed in credits. Most modules are 8 credits or even 12 or even 16 credits. And what is a credit? It is not a familiar concept. It's a concept that you will get at higher education, not at school level. But a credit equals 10 notional hours of study. In other words, if a module is 8 credits, that means 80 hours of study, including exams, assignments, the lecturing time, attendance, all those including. Usually a year of study is 120 credits. Over 4 years times 4, it's 480 credits. And we have a little bit of an overload of credits. The B.Ed program is something 527 credits, which means in 4 years' time you will have to spend 5,270 hours of study to get the qualification. The module code is, there's usually a 4-letter code and then a digit, 3 digits. The first digit is the year of study and the middle digit refers to the semester and the last digit is just a specific identifying digit. Another thing that I just want to share with you, colleagues, if you can, ladies and gentlemen, if you can just have a look at the slide. When you passed grade 12, there's also a thing called the National Qualifications Framework, and all qualifications offered by all universities in this country is pegged at a National Qualifications Framework. When you passed matric, you've got the NQF, the National Qualifications Framework qualification on level 4. If you proceed with your studies after grade 12, you will do a certificate, and that is NQF, National Qualifications Framework level 5. After the certificate, you can do a diploma, and that is NQF level 6. Or you can go straight, those of you that qualified grade 12 with endorsement at degree level, you can directly go into a degree, and this is NQF level 7. So colleagues, you that enter the B.Ed program, once you get a B.Ed program, you will get an NQF level 7 qualification that's recognized across South Africa at level 7. If you proceed to an honors degree, that is level 8. If you proceed to a master's, that's level 9. And the highest qualification that you can earn is a PhD or a doctoral qualification, and that is NQF level 10, the highest qualification, for those of you that are interested in this statistics. Colleagues, what is very important for you is the B.Ed. Additional or very specific requirements is the language requirements of the grade 12, and even your certificate, your degree certificate will indicate your competency in home language, first additional language, as well as the conversational language. So you will have 3 language endorsements on your degree certificate. What is very important, colleagues, for a requirement if you want to succeed in a B.Ed program is to make sure that you have connectivity, that you have access to the internet, especially in this remote online modality that we are following right now. But even if things are going back to normal, most of the study material are placed on a learning management system, iFundi, of the university, so you need to have access to the internet to complete your studies. Technology, you must have the right device with the correct specifications, colleagues. Without a device, you are lost. You won't be able to complete it or to submit an assignment. So you'll have to visit the learning management system, iFundi, on a regular daily basis, colleagues. Grievances. Anything that you are unsatisfied with, you are welcome to take it up firstly on all instances, all the time with your module lecturer, your first point of entry. Any grievance, anything that you are not satisfied with, even our student council, we have an academic association which have class representatives in a class. You can take it up with them. If not satisfied, you take it up. Your first step is with your module lecturer. I will explain that later in the slide. Here it is, step 1, your immediate lecturer. Everything, colleagues, even if you skip your lecturer, you go to the second level, they will come back to the lecturer. So please, your first entry is not your parents, your lecturer. you go to your lecturer. You can even go to the Vice Chancellor. It will go all the way down again to your lecturer. So your lecturer is the person that you must contact, nobody else. The second person, if not satisfied, is the module leader or the subject chairperson, then the program leader, then the school director. If still not satisfied, you come to me, the deputy dean, or you go to the executive dean. May I warn you and caution you about plagiarism? It is very important. On planet academia, plagiarism is the most serious offense. If you copy from a fellow student or you copy from the internet and you submitted it as your own work and not acknowledge it by referencing style, you may be, if catch out, you will be, I can guarantee you lecturers are quickly do that. There are even software programs that identified copy plagiarism from the internet. You will be charged with the student disciplinary section at the university. You will be subjected to a disciplinary hearing, and if found guilty, you may fail that module. In most serious instances, you may be expelled also from the university for a certain period of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress that enough. You compromise your academic integrity by copying somebody else's work. Never do that. You always have to submit your own work and never copy somebody else's work. In fact, in plain language, this is stealing intellectual property from somebody else, or you're stealing the intellectual property of somebody that put it on the internet. Make sure that you're not guilty in your 4 years of that, so that it becomes part of your report on your conduct at university, that many employers afterwards not only ask a certification, a degree certificate, but also a report on your conduct at a university. I can't stress this. Be warned, colleagues, about plagiarism. I know that one of the sessions in this orientation program is specifically focused on to emphasize or highlight the importance of this plagiarism or the compromising of your academic integrity. The faculty rules about submission assignments, there are due dates. Some of the Ifundi sites has a window period that's only open for a certain time. Make sure you submit your assignment on time. No lecturer, it's compulsory for them to open it again. If you miss the opportunity, you miss the opportunity, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to, especially in this mode of continuous assessment, if you miss one opportunity, you have to double your marks in the next assignment to make sure that you pass the module. All assignments must have full detail. Many students submit assignments without their student number, without names on full detail, the code, the module name, the lecturer's name, the student's name, your student number, and all the full detail on it. Failure to submit an assignment, you will be penalized if it is late, and if the lecturer allows you to submit late, you will definitely be penalized for that. And no lecturer, it is out of goodness of them. It's not part of the ethic of care to allow late assignments. It is also unfair to those students who go to great length and effort to submit their assignments on time. So please, I can not stress it enough. When you talk to a lecturer during online teaching, or if we are going back to normal situation, lecturing, face-to-face contact in a second semester, pending on the alert level of the COVID-19, you have to treat your lecturers with respect. Respect is earned, and you, please, I can't stress this enough also, to pay respect. When you're in the teaching, especially also maybe online, don't have your microphone on and talking to somebody else and be interruptive during a lecture or during an interactive session with the lecturers. Please, no phones. And colleagues, many of you take videos of the lecturers or videos of the PowerPoint slides. You have to get permission from your lecturers. Some colleagues do have intellectual property on their slides, and you're not allowed to take photos or videos. You have to get permission from your lecturers to do that. Please also adhere to that requirements. I also know eating and drinking in the classrooms. We want to keep our venues neat neat in all the venues. Colleagues, there will be attendance. Some of our lecturers, when we go back to face-to-face, you need to complete an attendance register, and please, your academic integrity is also very important in this. Then I want to conclude that grab the opportunity and learn. You're never too old to learn, colleagues, and best wishes to you. I really hope that this orientation program will be of value to you, and that you will, I also want to congratulate you to choose the Northwest University and the Faculty of Education as an institution of choice to qualify and to prepare you for this lovely career in education. I trust that you will be the best learner student that you can be, and I wish you well for your studies. And with that said, colleagues, I welcome you and I wish you well. Thank you. Welcome again, and best wishes for your studies. Thank you.
Good morning, first years of 2021. I want to welcome you to the Faculty of Education. I'm Dr. Elise Kung, the Deputy Dean Community Engagement and Stakeholder Relations within the Faculty of Education. I am situated on the Vanderbijl Park campus. I would like to welcome you to our faculty and firstly congratulate you, especially for being the fantastic group of people you are. You went and showed resilience in 2020. You faced challenges unknown to previous matrics, and I think you can pat yourselves on the back for being here and getting where you did. By now you all know that the university motto, or one of our catchphrases, is "It all starts here." That is quite a phrase, and it hints at a place where dreams begin, a place where you can visualize your aspirations and your future successes. In this week, you're going to hear a lot about how different university is from what you have done before. And in our faculty, we want to expand your boundaries in and through education. But how do you make your dreams come true? What do you need to know to make those dreams come true? I thought about this and I thought, I know you're going to hear a lot of things, but what were the things that I would have liked to know? What were the things that I sometimes wished people made me aware of? And therefore I decided that I'm going to talk to you about 3 important things. It may seem more because I'm going to lump things together, but those important things are academic integrity, how you manage your time, and showing respect through taking responsibility. So, I want to start off by helping you understand your curriculum and the language of tertiary education in order for you to understand how to manage your time and what do we mean with academic integrity. It's important that you know your phase. The foundation phase is very easy because it's set in a specific program. There are no choices. All your modules are the same, and you act as a group. The intermediate phase, ladies and gentlemen, has a slight change because you will specialize in your mother tongue and you will be doing your mother tongue for 4 years. After that, from your second year, you will be doing an additional language. And then you have a choice of 2 specializations. Some of you specialize in math, science, and technology, and others in life skills and social sciences. The senior and FET phase have 2 majors, and then you will have 3 GET subjects, which you will be doing in the first 18 months of your studies. Apart from this, you have a number of modules that everybody does, generic modules that focuses on education, teaching, the skills of teaching, professional studies, and so forth. By now, you may have looked at your registration certificate or your proof of registration and wondered, what do these things mean? Because unlike school, we don't refer to subjects. We don't speak about your math or your geography or anything like that. We work on module codes. To understand module codes, you have to realize that each module has a specific code. EDCC would refer to education-related modules. You will have math modules, geography modules, which will have a geo in front, or perhaps life for life sciences, and so forth. What you need to know is that the first number 1 indicates the year that you are studying. So from your second year, your EDC modules will, for example, or all your modules for that fact, will start with a number 2. Then the middle number, ladies and gentlemen, indicates the semester. So all your subjects for the first semester will have a 1 in the middle and a 2 in the middle for the second semester. And this will be throughout the 4 years. It is important for you to remember that, so that you don't get confused with when you're supposed to do a module and sometimes miss a module in your registration. Furthermore, each module has a credit value attached, and this guides what we call notional hours. Notional hours link to that thing that I spoke about, and that is time management. The one thing about university is the freedom that there is. I know that many of you will be studying from home while we're in an online online teaching and learning mode, and many of you will be studying from your reses. But when you come to class, you will realize it's completely different from school. There's nobody that checks if you're at school at 7:30 or at university at 7:30 and make sure you stay here until 2. In fact, our day will continue until 5 in the afternoon. And there may be days where you will have a contact session or a session with a lecturer online at 8 in the morning, and then nothing for the rest of the day. This does not mean that you have free time, and this is one of the biggest pitfalls for many, many students, ladies and gentlemen. My advice is always that you actually start treating this as getting ready for the work day that you will face after your 4 years of study. If you start working every morning at 8 and you focus on your studies, albeit attending classes, online Zoom lessons, visiting the library, working on your assignments, summarizing, doing extra reading, because all these things are necessary for you to make a real success of your career and of your degree, then you will face success. You'll still have enough time for fun, because fun is important as a student. This is also the last time in your life you will have that freedom to just have fun. So yes, in the evenings, over weekends, get together. Don't break the COVID rules, but stay young. Have fun. But remember that too much of anything is never a good thing. So let me explain how credits and notional hours work. When we say something is 1 credit, we expect that you should work for each credit that module has 10 hours. Your total credits of all your modules per year is approximately 120 credits. Let's look at how this really, in real life, works and what it would mean. If you take an EDCC module, I took 315 because that's a module that I taught for many years. It's an 8-credit module. That would mean you should spend 80 hours on this. In our normal circumstances, when we have contact sessions, 1 contact session per week is approximately 1.5 or 1.25 hours, in fact, which would give you per semester approximately 12.5 hours. That would be the time the lecturer spends with you. In this instance, now, in the COVID circumstances, this may decrease exponentially and may become something like 4 or 5 hours of sessions with lecturers, albeit electronically, virtual sessions, or perhaps 1 or 2 contact sessions. You may get 2 assignments. At the moment, we are in a continuous assessment mode, which means that you may have more than 2 assignments. But these will amount to about 20 to 30 hours of your time. And then, Should there be a semester test, albeit a virtual semester test, that can account for about 5 hours. So in total, we get to about 37.5 hours that will be directly given to you. Lecturers will tell you, this is what I want you to do. That leaves 42.5 hours that's your responsibility. Now, if you look through your study guides, you will see in each one of them that there are recommended reading lists. That would be additional reading to what is in your textbook. You will receive textbooks or have textbooks that you have to buy. And these, ladies and gentlemen, is your problem to study. Most lecturers will tell you, I have read the textbook. I have passed this module. Therefore, I don't need to tell you what is in it. My job is to facilitate your learning. I can guide you to the important parts. I can guide you to what you need to know. And I can tell you that little bit extra that you may have difficulty in finding. So make sure that you spend those 80 hours per module. And in some cases, in a 16-credit module, it's 160 hours. You will have 12-credit modules for 120 hours. So plan your days. It is really important. Our next point is academic integrity. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to do things very differently from what you are used to. Please don't fall in the trap of copying. Don't copy and paste from the internet. Don't copy your friend's work because you have run out of time. Never, never do anything that would jeopardize academic integrity. Plagiarism in the university environment is a serious, serious transgression. It really means that you can lose everything you have done in a module and even your whole degree. Lecturers will have no qualms at actually making an academic disciplinary case against you and instituting that, because plagiarism to us is stealing other people's work, and it is not acceptable. So this is something that you really, really need to keep in mind when you do your work. Listen in the next few presentations where some of the lecturers will explain to you what do we mean with things like paraphrasing. Make sure you access the NWU reference guide on our library's webpage. Buy the hard copy from the library if you want to. Download the copy if you want to. It is there. It is available to you. Use that from the first assignment. Follow it exactly as it shows in the book. If the reference guide shows you to make one space, make one space. If it shows you to have a full stop, make a full stop. Don't question. This is one of the things where critical thinking is not so important, but just following the rules. So please don't fall in that trap. And if your time management is a little bit off, rather be open about it and tell a lecturer that I need a day or two more than copying from a friend. You will get caught out. There are many ways for us to do this. And that brings me to the next point, taking responsibility. Your success starts with you taking responsibility. At university, there are no prescriptions with regards to giving 0. It is your responsibility to make sure that you access your study guides on eFundi. It is your responsibility to make sure that you work through them. It is your responsibility to make sure that you obtain the study materials. Don't get tempted to use your money that's allocated for books for something else. Buy the books you need. Access them in the library. Assignments are your responsibility. If you work in a group, make sure that you do your share. Nobody is going to allow you to get this degree for free, because what happens if you do not know how to be a teacher at the end of your 4 years is just such a risk. And I will speak to that in a little bit. The biggest thing that you have to take responsibility for is submission dates. Make sure you plan, ladies and gentlemen. Lecturers do not have to accept late assignments. Lecturers are allowed to deduct marks for late assignments. And there's nothing and nobody that wants to know from them why you gave somebody 0. Because if you did not do your share, we cannot with confidence say that you can be a teacher that will adhere to all the risks and all the important questions that teaching is going to ask of you. And then respect. Respect is such an important part of what you are doing, because if you do not show respect, you will not get respect. Respect your colleagues. In a virtual class, raise your hand. In a normal class, raise your hand. Don't just get up and walk out of a class if we have contact classes. Don't just talk over other people. Think before you do. Address your lecturers by their titles. This is really, really important. Every year we have students who come in and address us in very many ways. A professor worked to be a professor. A doctor worked to be a doctor. Therefore, respect the title and the work that they have put in. Be very careful, especially with the younger lecturers, that you don't think that they are just one of your friends. They are not. They have their degrees. They are busy with postgraduate studies, and they really deserve to be addressed in the correct manner. Especially in the virtual environment, it is very easy to forget that a lecturer is entitled to private time. Because we create Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, you have personal contact details of lecturers. And you have really got no right to expect them to answer you 10 o'clock at night because you did not do your assignment during working hours and now you have questions. Adhere to whatever the consultation hours are if we are on campus, or arrangements that the lecturer has made regarding how you consult and how you communicate. If you have a problem in your module, your first step is to consult with your lecturer first. After that, you may follow the grievance procedure. Don't just jump to the highest person you know of. They are going to go right back to the lecturer, and that means that they will actually just start where you should have started. If you wonder what a grievance is basically when there's some form of dissatisfaction or a feeling of unfairness or injustice that you feel happened in your communication with your lecturer or amongst lecturers and yourself if there's more than one lecturer involved. But the grievance procedure is there, ladies and gentlemen, to protect you. So feel free to use it, but use it in the correct manner. Grievance procedures are published on lecturers' Ifundi sites. On the Van der Bijl campus, I know that we also publish it separately so that students who get lost can follow it. Know who and what the process is that you have to follow and keep to that. To end off, I want to congratulate you and ask you to be proud of your choice. Often, teachers and education students hear that you took the easy way out or your course is so easy. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not true. We have one of the most heavily loaded courses at the Northwest University. And your choice is so important because a good teacher, ladies and gentlemen, has such an impact on children's lives, on their learners' lives for many, many years. And as a good teacher, you must be fond of working with children. So I hope when you made this choice, it wasn't just for the sake of a bursary, but because you have a passion to work and to educate young people. Secondly, you must have a lot of patience and you must be a good listener to hear what that child is really saying. You have to have extremely good language skills because what you how you express yourself will basically make sure or ensure that the learner understands what you are saying. How you explain something is what's going to open the door and make the light bulb come on. You have to be creative. There's nothing as bad as a very boring teacher who only reads from the textbook. You have to, in today's term, compete with YouTubers, TV stars, TikTok stars, the whole lot, ladies and gentlemen. You always have to be punctual, because punctuality teaches respect, shows respect. You have to be accurate in what you do. And there should be persistence. All kids do not understand everything you explain the first time. Sometimes you have to go back home and rethink, replan, and decide, how am I going to convey this? And then come back tomorrow and try again. And then it may still not work, and you have to go and redo it. But you should never, ever give up. The future of the learner in your class will be in your hands, the same way you hold your own future in your hands today. Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing is, a teacher has to be a hard worker. You cannot think this is an easy job. It's not an easy study field. You are going to work hard for 4 years, and then you're going to leave and you're going to work even harder when you get out there. I want to thank you. Once again, welcome into the Faculty of Education, and my best wishes for you and your studies.
My name is Professor Washington Dudu. I'm the Deputy Dean for Research and Innovation in the Faculty of Education. I would like to introduce to you my team from the Mafikeng campus. I start with Inonge Kakula. She is the faculty administrator who handles all the major faculty administrative issues. From the School of Commerce and Social Studies Education, the director is Dr. Martha Matashu. From the School of Mathematics, Science, Technology Education, the director is Dr. Pentecost Nkoma. From the School of Languages Education, the school deputy director is Prof. Liberty Obe. From the School of Professional Studies Education, the school deputy director is Prof. Connie Zulu. And lastly, from the School of Psychosocial Education, the deputy school director is Dr. Noor Sheknach. Like I said, I'm the head of operations on the Mafikeng campus, and this is the team which works very close with me for the efficient and smooth running of the Faculty of Education at the Mafikeng campus. Ms. Inonke Kakula oversees the SALA, which is known as the Academic Life Cycle Administration on the Mafikeng campus. SALA is the whole administrative life cycle from registration right through to graduation. Registration for this year will be done online, and there is an extensive university website that entails important documents such as the academic yearbooks, which give you more information on the modules that you'll be registering for. Look out for constant information and communication from the university. In the extent that you are not correctly registered, there is a period that we will call add and drops, where you have an opportunity to get into the DIY portal to correct your registrations. Under the university website, when you click on yearbooks, you also have access to academic rules of the university. This is where you will find how we administer the academic rules of the university. May you please pay attention to constant communication from the university. A Bachelor of Education degree is a 4-year degree, and may you please work hard so that you can complete on the record prospective time. If you do not perform well, you are going to receive what is known as Dean's warnings, and that might lead to academic exclusion. After 3 Dean warnings, you can therefore be excluded from the program. I wish you good luck. Enjoy a safe stay at the Northwest University as we endeavor to enrich your professional development as you become teachers in the 21st century. I thank you.